It's the Big Show, and on the Big Show, we like to talk to gorgeous, sexy, attractive, talented women, and we've got one. Lisa Lampanelli, how are you?
I thought you were going to say, but we couldn't find one, so we got this whore instead. Okay, great.
Now, how depressing must this be for you to meet an English guy, pasty white, with ginger hair and a small So let's be honest, this isn't your best day, is it?
No, it isn't, but I'm staying in Detroit, so there are a lot of hot chocolate daddies to make up for your lack of girth and length. And also, you pasty British, I do like you because you say the C word a lot, which is my favorite word, as you know, because to me, a hot night is a guy calling me the C word and hitting me in the privates with a shovel. So that's hot.
Let's back up a bit and explain who you are, because for our British audience, you're like nobody I've ever seen before. You're a lady who says it as it is. You're not frightened of anything. You're not frightened of offending. You talk about race, sexuality. You talk about everything going, and if you don't like it, switch off.
Exactly. It's like if you want to see an unfunny bitch, stay at home, listen to your wife. If you want to come and see somebody funny who gets a laugh, you're going to see LL, Lisa Lampanelli, son. Because really, how many women comics in the world do you want to see? I mean, 3. I would pay to see me, Kathy Griffin, and Sarah Silverman. And I'd pay the most to see me because I'm that good, and I get free tickets.
And the great thing about seeing you like today, I mean, I was so excited. I happened to be in Detroit recording this Motown show and see my family, and then I find out you're on, and I thought, right, if I can get free tickets, I'll go. I'm not paying.
I don't blame you, because when I used to be do what you do for a living. I used to be a journalist. I wouldn't pay for anything. I didn't even pay to see Great White and not get burned in a fire, okay? So there.
Now, help me with this. Let's go back to the beginning of your career, because you were a journalist, and there you were interviewing all these rock bands and stuff. Is that not the most boring job in the world? Because unless it's an interesting guest like you, it's a hard job, isn't it?
Well, let me tell you, most rock bands are dumb as a post. Let's be honest. There's a reason they play music, because they're freaking stupid. Now, of course, there are exceptions like your Jethro Tulls and your Rushes and your Yes. But, you know, once you've interviewed those 3, what are you left with? Bon Jovi, whose most intelligent answer is, I don't know. I mean, they're not bright. And also, I was doing like heavy metal reporting in the 80s. You know, all the bands like Cinderella, Slaughter, Cinderella, Rat, all the good ones. So basically, I said, okay, let me hit 30, figure out a way to call people names, get lots of money. I come from a big mouth Italian household, so my mother never let us get a word in. So now I'm making up for it because she ain't on TV and I am. So shut up, lady, or I'll put you in a home. That's what I have to tell her and the old man. So I get it from my family. They're big, loud storytellers. They're huge, angry people, which is a funny part of comedy, is your anger over things. So yeah, I got to say, I've been doing it all my life, basically.
And when did it happen that you decided you weren't going to go the nicey nice way, the Disney comedian? You decided to become Lisa Lampanelli.
I don't think you could decide. I think it just happens because my personality, I've always been the type who cursed. I got kicked off the school bus for cursing at the bus driver when I was a junior in high school. So it's kind of inbred in you. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just being me on stage. If people like it, they like it. They don't, they don't. But I don't hold back. See, I figured if I was forcing the cursing and the dirty stuff, and that wasn't really me, they sense it. The audience is like dogs. They sense everything. So I'll tell you what. I said, let me be me. If they like it, they like it. God bless. And thank God they do, because I don't like to brag, dude, but I got 2 houses and 2 Toyota Camrys, so step off.
What I love about you in the beginning, I got the 3 DVDs, and I watched them, and there you were, this big, ugly, fat woman, and here you are today, like a porn star.
I'm telling you, let me tell you, I am the only person who gets better looking as I get older. It's really weird, and I don't even do surgery like Kathy Griffin and Joan Rivers. I am anti-plastic surgery. I just get my facials, I lose my weight, I get my hair extensions, I got fake hair, real tits. God bless.
and you keep mentioning Kathy, and I like Kathy, but I tell you what I find about her, she's got a bit of a chip on her shoulder. There isn't that with you. You know your limitations. You know that everybody's not going to like you, and you're kind of over it.
Well, I love her, but you know what the best thing about her is? She names names. Like, she's fearless, man. She don't like Oprah. She says it. She don't like this one or that. And she'll talk about everything, all the shows she was banned from. And that's how I am, too. Like these hooers on The View, I don't like them broads because they talk a lot of crap about me. I don't need that. I'm a celebrity. I'm a very nice freaking person. As you could tell, I'm a sweetheart, and they don't recognize it. So that's why I respect Kathy, because my girl, like, really throws down.
How annoying is that show? The over-talking. Like, I can't listen to 2 women at once, let alone 5.
Let me tell you something. Women should stay home and shut up unless you're as freaking cool as I am, okay? The only one on that show who's fit to live is Joy Behar, because Joy's funny as hell. But then you got that big-mouth black one. Then the black man, Whoopi, he's terrible. And then you got that other broad, the pretty one. Now, isn't that the worst compliment in the world? The pretty one on The View. That don't mean much, does it? Oh, great. She's the type, too, who won't let let you stick it in her butt. Let me tell you something. You can tell she's repressed in the sack. Me, I'm built for comfort and speed. Them little skinny bras, they break. Not LL, man. I'll take on two colors at once, son. They are to you what Mexicans are to us. And you know what I like about the blacks? As you know, they like the big ass because, I give them something to hide behind when the rent is due. So I do enjoy the hot chocolate daddy. So the search continues. You know what's funny about black guys with the British accent? Isn't that weird? It's like they sound very educated, which we know is impossible because they're black. Let me tell you something. I am smart enough not to take the high-risk categories like your Jews and your Asians because they have very small wee-wees. As you know, I said on my album, the only thing shorter than a Jew's thingy is a black guy's to-do list. So pretty much, I don't take no risk with a Jew. I don't go with no Chinaman because let's be honest, I like my men like I like my coffee, not like my urine. So I stick mostly with the brothers who tend to be hung with just your blacks, your Mexicans, maybe even your Arabs, and sometimes they're uncircumcised. How crazy is that? Looks like a little freaking, what is that? Like a condom already attached. I don't understand this. It's disgusting earthworm, but I'll do it anyway.
It's subhuman, isn't it?
It is really weird, but so are Arabs.
But we are the way we are. And then, of course, we find out that journalism's not for you. Were you as shocking in those days? I mean, did people kind of tell you, you've got something a bit extra for a journalist? Because let's face it, journalists are boring. I mean, they kill my career because they don't like people like me and you, do they?
Well, I was always repressed and holding back during those days. Like, I never grabbed, a member of Motley Crue by the schlong, even though I wanted to. When Tommy Lee walks by, you just got to grab it because really he is hung so well. I wouldn't know if I should bang him or, feed it a peanut. It's very large. So I was very not bawdy or ribald during those conversations. But when I hit 30, I snapped and I said, you know what? I got to do something where I could just be LL. Not meaning LL Cool J, meaning Lisa Loves. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing about you. You're white, you're female, and you're cool. There aren't many of those around.
Hell no. If I had to date women, I would eat a freaking gun. And I'll tell you what, shoot me in the face. I'd rather Xerox my privates at Kinko's. Get away from me, women. Thank God I'm a straight woman, at least till I'm 50 when I give up and jump onto the tuna boat.
Were you ever tempted to go the other way?
You know what's weird? All through my 20s, I was like, every time I'd break up with a guy, I'd think I was a dyke. Which you in British, do you call them dykes?
Yeah, well, lesbian lickers, I think we call them.
Yes, snatch-licking whores. So I always thought I was a field hockey-playing dyke. So I'd say, but it was always right after a breakup. Then my dyke friend would say to me, well, could you kiss a broad? I go, maybe it would be okay. And then she goes, well, would you, lick one? And I'm like, ew. And she goes, you're not a dyke. She goes, if you go, ew. She goes, no. So stick with men. So now I guess I'm stuck.
Gynecological things worry me. I got to be honest with you.
Oh my God, trust me. Oh, my stuff is awful down there. Let me tell you, these blacks will stretch a girl out. Yes, they will. Now when I do a white guy, for him to feel anything, I have to cross my legs. So it is a real problem. I have to write my gynecologist a letter of apology twice a year. Is that fun? No.
Are you telling me we could kind of skydive out of that thing?
I absolutely would suggest you do. Yes, I would.
And when you go to your gynecologist, did it say at the door, at your cervix?
Yes, it does actually. And then they say celebrity suite only, and they have the extra big speculum. Do you know what that? You know what a speculum is? It just goes, it just spreads them right open, and I don't even need one, which is fabulous.
All right, so we're now at the point where you've become a comedian, and then you want to get known. That's difficult because you're not going to be mainstream. They're not going to have you on Good Morning America talking to the kiddies, are they? Doing this?
Right. Oh, who the hell would want to do that crap anyway? I always knew who I was. I said I'm edgy all the time. It's going to take what it takes. I thought maybe I'd have one TV credit in my life, but then they started those roasts on Comedy Central. So thank God the roast discovered me. The Friars Club made them put me on one of those for Chevy Chase, and then that's it. It was a wrap. So I was always doing those, got a couple of specials, and I don't know, it's meant to be, I guess.
I just watched you last weekend doing the Larry the Cable Guy roast, and I thought to myself, God, isn't it amazing how people can be in this business and they still have no comic timing? How do people get on there if they can't tell jokes?
Well, you're not talking about me, right?
Yes.
Because I thought it was good. No, I know what you're talking about, like the actors and things. Here's what happens. At those roasts, they have to cast people sometimes who will get viewers to watch. In other words, if you promote Gary Busey's on this roast because he's a crazy bastard, they're going to be like, oh my God, we got to watch that. So that gets a few more, 100,000 viewers. Same thing with Maureen McCormick, the one who was Marsha Brady, because she put a book out that she was a crack hooer. Well, of course, then you're going to want to watch it. So pretty much they don't hire based on timing except for the real comedians. So that's what we do.
How nervous are you at those events? Does it bother you that we're watching from a TV, or do you just see the camera, or is it just like doing a live show with a few people in an audience?
Oh, no. To me, it's a little different now that I was a roast master because I had to read the teleprompter and I never did that. So I practiced for 2 days. I wanted to make it look natural, so I was like, oh, thank God it worked. But regular shows for me, the only thing that ever gets me nervous is The Tonight Show, because they let me be myself, but I obviously can't slip with a curse. But Jay always comes in and he always goes, hey, do what you want. If you slip, we bleep it. So they're such gentlemen about it. It doesn't matter. But I really get nervous for kind of semi-live events. And also, like with the Larry Roast, I knew I was going to kill it because I went up first. I usually have to go last because all those douchebag male pussies won't follow me. But this time they had no choice, so I got first crack at all the topical stuff. Octomom, that hooer, the crazy chimp in Connecticut, Chris Brown and Rihanna. I got the first go at it, so I wasn't nervous in the least. I couldn't believe it, but I was nervous my boob was going to pop out, and it was funny.
And can I give you a round of applause for those? If I wasn't holding a microphone, I'd do that. They are tremendous. I would play with those all night and never leave the house.
Let me tell you something. You would be on your knees all night because you'd have to reach them down there. Trust me, that took 2 push-up bras and chicken cutlets. We have these things called chicken cutlets that you put in to push them up, and I have no shame in telling you that whole outfit, I'm telling you, I had 3 pairs of Spanx on, a corset, and a push-up bra, but I still look good in clothes. The problem was if I go to bang somebody afterwards, it's like the Pillsbury Doughboy. The stuff just all pops out. So I bang with my clothes on, is what I'm trying to say.
You genuinely seem to find it funny when people say the most nasty things about you.
I know, it's like they shake their head and they act annoyed. Me, I'm like, okay, this is how it translates. The more Lisa Lampanelli references and jokes, the more money I make because more people go, oh, I'll remember her. So the more your name is mentioned, the more you make. So the fact is, these dirty Jews like these Jeff Rosses and Geraldo, and they get annoyed, not LL. I know it all translates to dollars. And also, a funny joke at one's expense is hilarious. If I can't take it, who should be able to?
And therefore, is there anything I can say to you that would offend you? Is there anything I could go too far with? Is there anything that I could poke at? Not literally, but...
You know what's weird? No, because you get conditioned to the stuff you know that you're going to be made fun of. For women, any woman in the business is on a dais. You always have several categories. They're either fat, ugly, untalented, unfunny, or whore. So those are usually the 5. Even you're talking about Lucille Ball, Toady Fields, anybody, Sarah Silverman, you're always going to have those 5. So you get to know which ones are yours. So I always going to know I'm going to get fat. I always know I'm going to get ugly. I always know I'm going to get bangs of the blacks. And I'm like totally prepared for those jokes. I love them. I think they're hilarious. Like Warren Sapp had the best joke about me. And how great is it that a big black chocolate daddy like the chef from South Park made fun of me?
And then I got to know you after the DVDs on Howard Stern because you're there regularly, and he is very choosy about who he puts on his show, and you hit every time, you make him laugh, and that must be difficult.
It's almost like not a crush, but not a sexual crush on Stern, but this thing of this awe, like where you go, oh my God, like he actually talked to me. Like it's a big like high school crush I have. So when I go in there, I always prepare for like a month instead of being one of these douchebags who wings it. You cannot wing Howard Stern. You make it sound like you're winging it. And also I tell everything, every story. I went to rehab for codependency. I went to rehab for food issues. I was like, all right, he has to know first. Every date I have, I tell him about. Because put it this way, if you hide some stuff, he's going to find it out anyway. So my temper tantrums, when I yell at people on planes, it all comes out, man. I call people the C word. That's fine. I'll tell you all about it, son. But, I don't think Howard wants to throw me a shot because he likes skinny broads.
And you're one of the few people who can actually shock him. That doesn't happen very often.
That is so much fun when he says, he gave me the best quote. He said, I wish all my guests were like you. And I was just like so touched. And then he gave me a huge quote for my book. I'm the type, okay, I don't like asking favors. But when my book's coming out in September, I had to get quotes from Leno, Jim Carrey, people that I work with a lot. So I said, let me approach Howard. I was like, he's not going to have time. I expect that it'll be a no. But he sent me like this huge 2-paragraph things about why he likes me. And same thing with Jim Carrey. And I'm like, these are like guys who like you respected all your life. So that was so flattering. And I'm like very touched by that.
And would we ever have anything tightened or tucked up or put in a different place?
You know what's odd though? I make the jokes about the stretched out vag. My shit is tight. I can't even believe it because I'll be banging these guys. I don't do them much anymore because now I'm looking for love. Ugh, whatever. So I have heard they go, maybe they're just saying I'm well put together down there because they're black and enormous. But hey, a tuna can's a tuna can. That's all I gotta say.
And very finally, before we go, F, marry, kill, Robin, Stern, Artie Lang.
Robin's the marrying kind. If I was a lesbo, I would have to go with her. I definitely would. And it's the black-white thing, so a lot of jokes in there, but she'd probably steal from me. Okay, so who else? Howard, definitely F. Artie Lang, if he wanted to kill himself, I'd support that.
Do you think we'll be going to his funeral before the end of the year? What's going to happen?
Oh, I hope not. But you know what? It'll be more jokes for me. Actually, I said a really funny Larry joke that they cut out. It was about Artie. I said, hey, Larry, you're so fat. I said, no, 10 more pounds and I could use my Artie Lang jokes. And boom, they cut it out. Whatever. Well, I hope he doesn't die.
Lisa, it's great talking to you. Thank you so much for talking to me, because you must have better people to talk to, more important people. But thank you for throwing me this bone of an interview. You're amazing. You're funny. Go on Amazon and get the DVDs, because you got a new one coming out.
Yes. March 31st. Long Live the Queen. That's my HBO special is coming out. That's so exciting. And also my book, look for it in September, called Chocolate Please. It's a book about my life. Do you believe somebody actually paid me to write my autobiography? And I read it back to myself. It's like a litany of all the black guys I banged. It's kind of like Schindler's List, but with a less happy ending.
Do we get any topless pictures in that? I would pay to see that.
Oh, wow. You don't have to pay. Let's go up to my room. But let me tell you what, no topless pictures yet until my mom and dad die. Because once they're in the ground, all bets are off.
All right. Okay. Thank you for talking to me. Good luck with the show tonight. I'm going to come and see you, not paying for that. Got the DVD on the way, not paying for that either. So all in all, it's been a good day for me.
Thanks, man. Cha-ching.